So our Survival Evolved's Christmas event is well underway. They've also announced a brand new Year's event, and of course Lost Island seems to be doing pretty well considering it's launched on time. The first map to do so since Scorched Earth stealthily dropped. But that isn't all the big news today. We're going over also the brand new creature that's going to be added to the Fjordur map and the creature vote going on, as well as the ongoing saga of ARK versus Myth of Empires. So a pretty meaty community crunch, giving thanks to all the different communities that have helped make ARK the thing in the last year. And I would say, yeah, it's been a strong end to the year. Lost Island seemingly doesn't have as many issues as previous DLC, apart from a few underspawns or overspawns, as well as consoles. I'm not seeing too much activity saying that the game is broken or messed up in huge ways. So that's a plus for me, that's a win. Also, look at this guy, FJORDHAWK. What a terrible name. I honestly am wondering where they got the depths of this one. Like, maybe it's a thing. Maybe there really was something called this in prehistoric times, or ancient times at least, because we know it's not all just about the dinosaur periods. But yeah, this is a new creature that's going to be coming to Fjordur. Basically, this guy is going to be much like a vulture from Scorched. It's going to follow predators and survivors and maybe swoop in and snatch up meat when you've maybe killed something. It does have some other unique properties. Apparently, you'll be able to use it to track creatures that you've hurt. And I ain't gonna lie, that could be something useful. The amount of times that I've underprepared, attacked a raptor or something, or maybe a trike that actually does run away when it does get a bit low on health. And then, yeah, somehow I've actually lost it in the undergrowth or the forest. Well, supposedly you are going to be able to sick these guys onto it and they'll find it for you. You can even play fetch with them to train them up, just like a proper harrier bird, I would guess, a bird of prey. But of course, the biggest feature this guy has to maybe mark it out as different from some of the other creatures we've had is it's going to return some of your loot. Yes, if you die, the creature will pick up some of your gear. That says as many of your belongings as it can. And then it says it returns your equipment to you. So we don't know 100% sure if it's going to be every single piece of item that you had on you, or just the vast majority of stuff. But either way, a good little addition that's going to be coming with the Fjordur map that's supposedly coming out in June 2022. And part of that, of course, is the creature vote. Now, this has caused controversy upon controversy in the past, and they're finally learning some lessons. They're actually keeping it secret this time. They're basically doing it in a system where you can mix and move what creatures you rank as wanting to see in the game the most. So if you want the Bastion Beetle at the top, you can go ahead and move it to the top, and then click submit, and that will go through. There is only one vote per person, so make sure you don't do anything stupid like do the wrong order. There's a whole host of pictures and info by suggestions by a lot of people that have put them in. I do feel once again though, WILDCARD could have maybe done a little bit of a better job presenting some of this stuff. I would have liked them to have seen or done their quick overview of some of these entries themselves, as we know that a lot of these entries with some of their skills and abilities that people suggested, they probably won't actually have the same sort of deal. Effectively, people are voting for something that might not actually be in the game at all. You're basically just voting for the look of the creature, because WILDCARD will change its abilities. They may keep certain little things or suggestions from each one of these, but generally that's what they did with the last creature submission process. So yeah, this is good. I'm not going to go through all of the different creatures. You guys go and take a look for yourselves and really ponder over it. I just like the fact that the developers did actually acknowledge that the last way they did it for Lost Island just wasn't good enough. And so they're hopefully making it a bit more fairer. This means hopefully influencers won't be able to swing the vote as much, and people won't be changing their votes just because some stupid YouTuber's gone, oh no, I actually like this one more. And as I said as well, the ARK New Year's event is happening on December the 31st. They're pretty much going to be increasing by 9,000 the amount of very rare and legendary drops of chibis, and rare of course as well. So the fireworks are going to kick it off. This will be happening approximately midnight EST and noon EST on the 1st of January 2022. So look out for that. If for some reason you really like having the chibis, then you can go ahead, log in on New Year's Day and hopefully get a whole bunch of them. And if you run your own server, then of course you will be able to use the event as well. And yep, Lost Island, I managed to get a few videos out before I took a week off work. Not as much as I wanted and not the right kind of videos that I wanted, but nevertheless, some of them got some views. So it's been good, and it has gave me a little bit more encouragement in making something like 100 days, or just jumping on the game and having some more fun and doing some more guides. So I will be doing some more content on Lost Island over the next couple of weeks. So what I'm really interested in at the moment is actually Myth of Empires versus Ark Survival Evolved. This story has fascinated me. I did do a video a couple of weeks about it, and PC Gamer have got some more info. If you don't know the drama of this, Myth of Empires have been accused by WILDCARD of stealing their actual source code, their engine code for the game, and Myth of Empires is supposedly built on the groundwork of ARK. They asked and showed proof enough to Steam to actually remove Myth of Empires from Steam, but you can still play on private servers or on your actual official servers on Myth of Empires at the moment. Now, Myth of Empires did hit back and did actually file a counterclaim against WILDCARD, effectively an injunction to try and stop them from actually removing it from Steam. But it turns out more and more info now is backing up WILDCARD's claims. Now, in my video, I did have the slants that WILDCARD, you shouldn't really feel sorry for them as much because their parent company, Snail Games, are absolute garbage, releasing broken game upon broken, unfinished game, leaving so many to rot in early access. So go and check a look at that video if you want to hear more about that. But facts is facts. It is more and more looking increasingly likely that Myth of Empires have actually done some dodgy dealings. This isn't just from WILDCARD though, this comes from BattleEye as well. Now it's worth remembering that BattleEye and ARK have got a cozy relationship, but BattleEye are obviously in a lot of games. They help obviously protection against hackers and stuff for a whole variety of games across Steam. According to this article, one of the guys behind BattleEye has said that it looks increasingly likely that maybe Myth of Empires has indeed stolen source code, allegedly. Myth of Empires executable contains several unique strings used by BattleEye integration code, which also present in ARK. Suter, the chief executive, I guess, explained. These are some slight changes to some of those strings, but they mostly consist of changing BattleEye to BattleEye in almost all BattleEye references throughout the game. This is significant because BattleEye integration code is created by the developers of individual games, not BattleEye itself, and so that unique code is unique for each game. The fact that some of the strings used by BattleEye integration code that we located in Myth of Empires are extremely unique and use the same format, capitalization, and even typos, receive instead of receive, that were included in BattleEye integration code for ARK left no doubt for me that the BattleEye integration code from ARK must have been copied and taken as a base for Myth of Empires. Suter said his conclusion was confirmed when he revealed these findings to Stiglitz, the creative director and founder of ARK. Now, handily, this has all been actually shown up in court, so if you're really interested, go and take a look. So effectively, WILDCARD just want to get some sort of third party in place to actually compare the source code from both games, independent from any of their either companies, either Myth of Legends, Angela Games, and of course Studio WILDCARD or Snail Games, and actually take a real good look and settle this once and for all. But this latest maneuver is pretty much just against Angela's injunction that they actually put forward to stop them removing it from Steam. So effectively, WILDCARD is defending that they got Steam and Valve to remove Myth of Empires off of Steam. And here's basically the proof of what they feel Myth of Empires and Angela Games have done wrong. Other damaging and damning indictment of evidence, God, that sounds pretty official, that, is the fact that 60 of the 81 developers behind Myth of Empires previously worked for Snail Games. Apparently, according to WILDCARD, there's absolutely no way that this source code could have been just utilized, maybe just memorized by someone who has maybe the groundwork kind of in their head. It's actually been stolen because only certain people had access to this source engine code, and some of the people were indeed the people that are now working on Myth of Empires and Angela Games. The latest filing says that Angela Game have been trying to modify the code of Myth of Empires to remove all the evidence of the copying. I did point out as well that Jeremy Stiglitz was also once in trouble in the past because he left his previous company and he basically lied and started up WILDCARD under false pretenses. They ended up settling out of court for 40 million. But two bad things certainly don't make a right thing. I just always found it a bit funny and a bit ironic that WILDCARD would have issues with this in the future, since they kind of went through the same sort of process. But this is obviously turning out to be a lot more about theft of actual source code. What does it mean for Myth of Empires? It means I wouldn't invest too much time into this game at the moment. It could very well be the case that this game does get permanently removed from Steam, and they may end up shutting it down. The evidence that WILDCARD seemingly are confident in, and the fact that they've got other companies like BattleEye looking into it as well and confirming a lot of stuff independently, says to me that, yes, Angela Games are in big trouble. Maybe they'll be able to reach some sort of settlement deal like WILDCARD did with the previous company, Trendy Entertainment. But for me, I really would think twice maybe about investing any more time in Myth of Empires until the matter is cleared up. The game's not going to go anywhere if it is being developed still, and it's going to be all sorted out in the future somehow with some sort of agreement, or Angela Games can indeed actually convince people they haven't stolen the source code. Then I'm sure they'll pick up where they left off. They've carried on development. They've introduced a brand new anti-cheat software to get rid permanently and almost automatically from cheaters. And they've got some Christmas content that's gone live at the moment as well. But yeah, I would say from my point of view, it's looking pretty bad for Myth of Empires right now. So there we go. I hope you guys enjoyed some more little videos. I tried to do the stuff that not everyone else was going to be doing. Everyone was doing the creature guide, so I moved on straight away to bosses, spawn codes, and a few locations that I liked. Let me know what you want to see me cover in ARK Lost Island. Should I just get down, start streaming it and get the footage for 100 days? Or do you want to do some more actual guides? Are you having trouble finding stuff? And if we get any more developments about the situation with Myth of Empires and ARK, I'll let you guys know. And that's it. Have a great Christmas, everyone.